Hey, it's Dan from PrimeDeFi.com, and in this video, I want to show you why I think this election is going to trigger a massive bull market like we've never seen in the past, right? And not only that, I'm going to show you a strategy that I'm using that I think is way less risky to unlock some pretty explosive gains this cycle. Let's get into it. Okay, now first and foremost, whether you love him or hate him, I think we need to thank this man right here for turning crypto into a massive political issue.
You like crypto in any form, and it comes in a lot of different forms. If you're in favor of crypto, you better vote for Trump.
Now, ever since that press conference, we've seen a massive shift in the tone of the Democratic Party when it comes to crypto. And if you've been following crypto for any length of time, you know that crypto has two main public enemies, right? Gary Gensler and Elizabeth Warren, who over the last couple of years have done nothing but stop innovation and advancement of the industry in the United States and made it more difficult and challenging for people to get into the market.
So cyber criminals are exploiting cryptocurrency to scam American consumers out of billions of dollars.
And the fact is, this election, like any other, is going to be fierce, right? I think it's going to be a really close battle, and both sides want to make sure that they don't lose the opportunity to get those voters in the middle, right? And there are some swing issues that could sway people one way or the other, crypto being one of them. Now, after that conference, we also saw the Trump campaign even saying that they would accept contributions in the form of cryptocurrency. And I love how Fortune magazine put this here, right? They said that the Democrats' crypto dam finally broke, especially when you see things like this here, right? Nancy Pelosi voting in favor of a new crypto bill called FIT21. And you don't get any more left-leaning or democratic than Nancy Pelosi when it comes to political figures in the space. And what's actually really amazing about this is this bill, the FIT21 bill, was put together by Patrick McHenry, a Republican, current chair of the House Financial Services Committee. Okay, so what is this FIT21 bill and why should we care, right? Well, FIT21, it stands for the Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act. And this act does two key things. The first thing that it does is that it grants the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, or the CFTC, greater authority over digital assets deemed to be commodities, right? That's been a major area of contention. Who has authority to regulate these assets? The SEC or the CFTC, right? These assets meaning crypto. And another thing this act does is it also creates very clear boundaries for when the SEC does have authority. And finally, crypto companies, right? Companies like Coinbase or Kraken, right? An exchange operating as a company offering a crypto-related service, and also digital asset issuers, right? These are token issuers. If somebody wants to innovate and create a new type of technology that's going to have a crypto token related to it, right? They would be considered a token issuer or a digital asset issuer. They now have regulatory framework under this bill for determining who their regulator is going to be, right? That's something that's been very difficult in the past, and there wasn't actually a clear path for companies or projects to seek regulatory guidance to register in the US. So this is a huge, huge deal, and that's because the outcome of the vote of this bill was actually 279 to 136. So this wasn't like one of these bills that got passed by a small margin. This was a huge, huge bipartisan push for clarity with crypto regulation. And to top it all off, on the heels of all of this bipartisan effort towards a pro-crypto America, right, we're seeing the SEC approve the Ethereum ETF, right? This is huge, huge support for the crypto industry. And, it's a friendly political landscape and decisions like these ETF approvals that are making big institutional investors and big sovereign wealth fund managers excited about investing in crypto. Now, the best part about all of this is that you and I as individuals have the ability and flexibility to get into these assets way faster than any of these other bigger players, right? And these big players are pretty much going to be limited for a lot of different reasons to purchasing things like Ethereum, things like Bitcoin, or any other crypto ETF products that come available on the market through these ETFs, right? It's just easier. They don't have to get into all the custodying of the asset. It's a lot harder for a big institution to do that with compliance and things like that. But as individuals, you and I can go buy these things now before tons of liquidity comes into the market, which typically drives the price straight up to the moon. And so just by getting in front of these ETF trades, you and I have the potential for massive gain. And here's an example of just how crazy things can get, right? We saw Ethereum jump from about $3,000 per Ethereum to around $3,800 per Ethereum just 2 to 3 days before the actual SEC approval, right? In anticipation of the approval, because it was looking favorable at that point in time. And so you had the market reacting and wanting to get positioned. And none of this is counting all the liquidity that we will likely see come into the market through the ETF spot product, right? This is just the early participants in the market getting hyped up, right? All the new investment money into this ETF that was approved hasn't even come into the market yet. These things can really move and they can be exciting. And so the question is, which one is next? And, you know, it doesn't take a genius to go to CoinGecko and take a look at the top cryptocurrencies by market cap and just look at the top 5 here. You can see if we ignore USDT Tether, which is a stable coin, other than Bitcoin and Ethereum, we're looking at either BNB or Solana. And Solana, in case you've been living under a rock for the last year, Solana has gotten a lot of the fanfare when it comes to popular crypto tokens to invest in. And I think at this point, the entire market is speculating that Solana will be the next spot ETF that we see come through the SEC approval process. The thing is, if you take a look at the price action on Solana since this past holiday season, we've already seen a 4 to 5x in growth, right? And if you're a long-term investor with Solana, it may or may not be a bad move or a bad trade if you're anticipating an ETF approval that could potentially drive up the value of Solana even further. But what I think would be even better would be finding cryptos that haven't pumped as hard as Solana, that have the potential to be chosen for ETF applications by these institutional firms. And in my opinion, that leaves a lot more room for upside in terms of explosive gains. And so in the rest of this video, I'm going to show you my process for how I'm identifying these potential cryptos. And so my approach to try to figure this out is to look at what these financial players are already doing, right? So just by going to Google and searching for top crypto ETF issuers, right, you can get a list of some of the big companies in the space that are offering crypto investment products to Wall Street, right? And so you can see big names here like BlackRock, Fidelity, etc., right? And so what you need to do next is just kind of look under the hood to see what's already going on. And so in this video, we're going to look at VanEck, right? And also Greyscale, right? These guys have been in the crypto industry for several years at this point. And let's take a look under the hood to see what each of them are doing. And that way we can look for clues to try to anticipate what they might be filing for next when it comes to a spot ETF. And so starting with VanEck, I can take a look at their crypto offerings. They've got what's called exchange traded notes and some futures ETFs, and they've broken them out into different categories. So if I take a look at the single crypto exchange traded notes, I can see that, you know, they obviously had a Bitcoin, ETN, Ethereum, Solana. These are names that we're already well aware of. So we want to look for something new, right? That could have some potential. So I'm looking at other names here. I see Tron. That's something to investigate. Avalanche. All right. So basically just Tron and Avalanche. Now I'll look at their multi-crypto ETNs. Let's see what that is. So it looks like they have these kind of two funds where they group some crypto projects together. So if we click into those to try to get more information, I'm looking to see what's included in this first crypto leaders exchange traded note. It gives me a little description of what it is, but I'm just looking for what are the crypto tokens they're identifying. So again, I'm going to ignore Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, because we already know that the market's excited about these, but I'm looking for the next gem, right? And I'm seeing Cardano, Avalanche, Chainlink, Polygon, Litecoin, right? So this is the second time now I'm seeing Avalanche, right? So that's something that I want to take note of. And I'm going to go back and I want to look at that other fund that they had called Smart Contract Leaders Exchange Traded Note. Let's take a look at that. If we scroll down here, I'm seeing Polkadot, Tron, Avalanche, Polygon. So I'm seeing Avalanche, Polygon, and Tron repeatedly, right? So maybe these three I'm going to take a look at a little bit more closely. Okay, so heading over to Greyscale now, right? Grayscale.com, looking at their crypto offerings. It looks like they've also got these kind of single asset funds or trusts and these combination, they call them diversified here. Looks like I could filter by those. They've got two or three funds here, which have a few different crypto tokens kind of packaged in, right? So I want to see what is on their list and does it look consistent? So I see Chainlink again, right? So that could be one that I'm looking for. And I don't see anything else on this list that overlaps with VanEck, right? So Chainlink could be one to take note of. Let's take a look at their grouped funds here. So if I take a look at this large cap, Greyscale digital large cap fund, let's open that one up and see what's inside it. All right, so taking a look at this fund here, we just want to get a sense of what are the holdings. So, okay, here we go. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and now XRP and Avalanche. So again, I'm seeing Avalanche. So of everything that I'm looking at here, Avalanche is a token that's jumping out at me as something to potentially be on the lookout for a spot ETF, right? And so this could be something that I would want to potentially invest in early now, well before there's even a conversation around it about an ETF product. All right, so now let's start looking at some of the price action with these tokens that we've been identifying, right? We saw Avalanche consistently across both sites as well as Chainlink, and I'm also going to take a look at Polygon, right? And so looking at CoinGecko, we'll start with Avalanche. If we zoom out and we look at the max price history that we can see here on CoinGecko, we can see that Avalanche relative to its previous all-time highs is actually sitting in a pretty decent spot. If you're a long-term investor and if you're pretty optimistic about crypto revisiting just previous all-time highs, let alone where we could see the next set of all-time highs in this upcoming bull run here, right? There's a lot of upside left on the table for Avalanche just to hit its previous highs, right? We're talking about like a 5x or a 3x just to get back to previous all-time high. If we look at Chainlink, right, we'll look at Chainlink, it looks pretty similar, right? It peaked at about, in the last bull run, close to $50, right? And now it's sitting at about $16 as I'm looking at this. So again, we've got like a 3x upside right now just to revisit previous highs. And taking a look at Polygon, it looks kind of like the same story. Polygon looks like it peaked close to 250. Actually, this one looks about the same, about a 3 to 4x to its previous all-time highs. Now, when we compare these three to Solana, right? Solana's already pumped massively. If you look at Solana compared to the previous market cycle as an altcoin, it's already close to its all-time highs. And there's already a lot of conversation and hype around Solana being the next ETF, right? So looking at this, if you're optimistic on Solana, there could still be a lot of upside left in this token. And it's definitely a top ranked crypto token, right? But you can see we've already missed this move. If you're just getting into the game now, you've already missed that move up. Whereas things like Polygon, also top ranked, coming in at number 21, and Chainlink, number 15, and Avalanche, number 12, right, on the list of top cryptocurrency assets by market cap. All three of those have a huge run up in potential upside just to revisit their previous all-time highs. Now, I'm extremely bullish on all three of these tokens, regardless of whether we see a spot ETF approved or not. But I think as you saw in this video, the likelihood that we see tokens like these hitting the lineup for these spot crypto ETF products, which allows easy access to these investments by Wall Street, by the retail market. I think there's a big case for why that could happen for crypto tokens like this. And as bullish as I am on these cryptos already, I think if that happens, it just takes it to the next level. And what's great about all of this is that if you were a more conservative investor and you wanted to place your bets on things that were more established, had a lot more history to them, and a more confident runway in front of them, I think considering cryptos like Polygon, Avalanche, and Chainlink might make a lot more sense than gambling money on things like meme coins. Now, as always, be sure to do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. I've just been around multiple market cycles, and I'm sharing the wisdom that I've gained that has helped me prosper and thrive in these crypto market cycles. And so that's it for this video. I'm Dan Ryder with PrimeDeFi.com. I'll see you in the next one.